Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, March 25th. It's snowing pretty hard here just west of the Philadelphia region here in Chester County. We have a couple inches of snow already on the ground, and it's snowing pretty hard. They had a few inches over the last few hours in parts of northern Maryland, northern Virginia. Baltimore schools closed down for the day in a burst of heavy snow earlier this morning, and that snow will continue heavily at times over the next several hours. Let's get right into the situation as it stands at the moment. A couple of low pressure areas, one over the Ohio Valley. We talked about this initial primary low moving up into the Ohio Valley. It'll kind of grind to a halt right there and start transferring all of its energy, and that process has begun. There's a developing low off the mid-Atlantic coast right here. This will ultimately become the main low over the next several hours, and this is what we'll focus on over the next several hours to see exactly how much precipitation it can throw back into the mid-Atlantic region. Latest radar has the heaviest precipitation over southern and central New Jersey into southeastern Pennsylvania, really from D.C. north and east right now, and that'll continue to slowly move to the north and east over the next few hours. Now, the precipitation has just moved into parts of southern New Jersey. Some of it started as a mixture of rain and snow. That should change pretty quickly over to snow as it did farther to the south and west. The upper level critical thicknesses in terms of the rain-snow line here are all well to the south and east of the big cities, basically in this region right here. So snow is falling in D.C. and throughout much of southeastern Pennsylvania. Again, at the onset, there's some mixture of rain and snow in parts of New Jersey. Again, that should change over to snow over the next half hour to an hour rather quickly after it begins. This is kind of an interesting mesoscale analysis here of what we call frontogenesis values here, and kind of shows where temperature gradient is setting up, and it's right along the mid-Atlantic coast where that greatest frontogenesis values are setting up. This is all telling us that this low will intensify over the next several hours, and indeed it will. It'll move more in an east-northeast fashion here to the northeast rather than all the way up the New England coast. Again, this storm will spare Boston and Portland, for example, but hit basically from around New York City on down to the D.C. region with some accumulating snow over the next several hours. Here's a broader view of the latest radar loop from the Penn State EWAL site. Blues and whites are in snow, and again you can see kind of a rotating around the Ohio Valley low right here, but the mid-Atlantic low is starting to develop right now. It's starting to intensify, and that's what we'll focus in on here over the next several hours. Good snows, again, a few inches fell in the last few hours across northern Maryland, northern Virginia, now into southeastern Pennsylvania. Again, a couple inches already on the ground in parts of Chester County, all that moving to the north and east, and the interior section of New Jersey could end up being a hot spot in terms of snowfall later on today. As this storm intensifies, it'll throw probably its heaviest precipitation back into central and southern New Jersey, most likely in the form of accumulating snow, perhaps even as much as 6 inches or so in interior sections of southern and central New Jersey. Well, this storm has very good upper level support. This is the current 500 millibar map of the upper level energy, or what we call vorticity. Again, quite an upper level low associated with this developing East Coast storm, and now we'll take a look that it also has quite an active jet streak. And here it is, the current 250 millibar way up in the atmosphere. This is a jet streak up 130 knots or so associated with this upper level low. That all will aid in the development and intensification of this storm. This storm will get strong enough to cause some 40, 50 mile an hour winds, especially near the coast later on today. That combined with the heavy wet snow could certainly cause some power outages in the mid-Atlantic region over the next several hours. This is a GFS forecast map for later on this afternoon, actually about 2 o'clock in the afternoon from last night's 0Z GFS model run. One of the things we'll focus in on over the next several hours to see how much snow we can end up getting here, whether it's a moderate storm or indeed a more serious storm, is this western side, northwestern side. There will be kind of a cold conveyor belt of precipitation on the west and northwest side of this developing low pressure area, and that could intensify the snowfall amounts, especially across southeastern Pennsylvania and southern and central New Jersey later on today. Let's jump ahead 6 hours. And here's the forecast map for this evening from last night's Zero-Z GFS model run. Here's that band hanging back to the south and west, and it could really hang back for several hours across southeastern PA, even throwing some snow all the way back into the DC region, focusing on interior sections of New Jersey with the heaviest precipitation. Again, we'll kind of monitor this over the next several hours, see what today's model runs do, but definitely accumulating snow throughout the mid-Atlantic region today. Perhaps 3 to 6 inches in the suburbs of some of the big cities, a little bit less than that in the big cities themselves, primarily from New York City down to D.C. Again, Boston and Portland are kind of out of the loop on this particular storm, and the bullseye could end up being just on the eastern side of the Delaware River in southern and central New Jersey, with the heaviest precipitation possible later on today in the form of snow. So stay tuned to the siweather.com. A pretty good snowstorm is underway, even though it's the springtime. That's it for now. I'm the SI meteorologist, Paul Dorian.